Hey there, and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be playing Battle Brothers, and if you haven't seen this game's on Steam, and it just come out of early access not that long ago. I think it may have just been a few days, or maybe even a day. This game, to me, is kind of like a cross between Mount and Blade. I don't know if you played it or not. If you haven't, you should go check it out. It's a cross between that and XCOM. It's turn-based, but it's also like in a low-key, low-fantasy medieval world. So let's go ahead and start a new campaign here. And I think what we'll do is leave it on beginner. I don't know what the screen flash was there. And we'll pick us a flag. That seems like a fairly good flag. Uh, just leave the name stock. This here tells you about different difficulty levels. There it goes again. Uh, you get a little bit more starting fun. Prices are lower. The contracts and opponents are less challenging, and you can carry more resources at a time. I don't want to play an Iron Man game uh, simply because you only get one save. And since the game's kind of new, now I've played it a lot. I put like 40 hours on it, okay? I haven't had any problems. I ain't had any weird bugs or nothing. But I'm not going to play Iron Man, just in case. Now, down here on the late game crisis, you can have none. So nothing happens. So you just play like it says there. You can keep on playing forever. Uh, you won't be able to access any of this special content. So this will be random. There'll be a random option between the three below. A straight out war between noble houses, or a greenskin invasion. The first late game crisis will be an invasion of a greenskin hordes, threatening to sweep away the world of man. If you survive for long enough, the following ones will be chosen at random. And then Undead Scourge. The first late game crisis will be the ancient dead arising again to take back what was once theirs. If you survive long enough, the following will be chosen at random. So I think what happens, since I haven't played it long enough, and this is a relatively new thing, what happens here is, let's say we pick war, which is maybe what I'm going to go after. I'm not sure yet. Let's say we pick war, and we go through that. And then maybe the next thing that'll happen is the Undead Scourge comes about, and then maybe after that we get that cleared out. Maybe the Greenskins will invade, and then once that's done, then most of the content at that point, your characters, if you survive that far, will be really powerful, and you'll probably just be basically done with the game. I'm gonna, I think, well, let's just go with war, maybe. That seems like a good vanilla thing to go for. Traditional flavor, right? War between the houses of man. So this is a real neat little game, and I wanted to bring you at least one episode of it to let you look at it. And if you like it, you may want to go check it out. It's a real fun game. I really enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy watching it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read these. I'm gonna read these little pop-ups as they come out. I'm not gonna do any special voice effects for you, probably because I'm not very good at it. But anyway, here we go. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hogger the Weasel and his band of raiders. But it was them who found you first. It was an ambush. Some joke about horses, cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of your men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A hurried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand. Met in force that steel clashes with steel. Your eyes meet with the captain. A last nod before his throat is cut. You are left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. To the end. So as you can see here, it's a hex-based game. It's turn-based, real similar to say Xenonauts or XCOM. I prefer Xenonauts, to be quite honest. There's Hoggart the Weasel running away. Like a little weasel he is. Watch him run away over there in the corner. See him up there? Figures. This guy here, he's got a crossbow. Now, you always start with three guys. You got a guy with a sword, or a shield and a spear. This guy here with his big axe. And this guy over here's got a crossbow. So you always start with three characters, and they each have their own stats and their own background. And as you can see here, you'll have a different chance to hit. We've got a 45% chance to hit him, and you can see he's armed with a shield, and he has a distance of 3, which decreases the chance to hit. Now this guy has a distance of 5, and he's armed with a shield, which means it's even harder to hit him. So I think what I'll do is I'll skip this guy's turn, and if I'm not mistaken, you can spacebar him to the end. Now I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to run up here, and then I'm going to use his special ability. Different weapons have different abilities. You can have a regular attack, a round swing, which does damage in the area, and then I'm gonna split shield. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of his shield, which is probably a little unnecessary at this point in the game, but I'm gonna show you how it works. So I'm gonna split his shield and get rid of it. So now his shield's gone. Now I'm gonna run this guy up here. And I'm gonna poke him in the side. Okay, so now you see this little shield icon pops up there. That means there's a chance to hit him, and I don't want to shoot my own person. So your line of fire is blocked, and there's a distance of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up 1, and now I don't have a chance to hit either of my 2 companions here. And I have a 63% chance to hit because the distance of 2, but now he no longer has a shield. So if this hits him, it'll probably either kill him or do a lot of damage to him. So now he's badly damaged. As you can see, he took a injury. I'm not sure if it's going to show it. Okay, so he's got a pierced chest and his morale is wavering, so he might break at any time. Morale is a thing you have to keep an eye on. If your morale gets too low, your guys will out and run away. So we're done here. We'll just go ahead and end the turn. Now, Hoggart run away, and this guy, he's going to attack my archer, which is actually a pretty smart move. The AI is actually pretty good, to be quite honest. If you make a lot of mistakes, especially on the higher difficulties, you certainly won't be living for very long. And I get kind of attached to my little mercenary guys, and I like to keep them alive. So I'm gonna hit that guy. I should have split shield on him, and I didn't. Now because we're in melee range, if I try to move away, he gets a free attack on me. But I think I'm gonna try to move away and see what happens. See, I got to move away, but he got a free attack. He missed, so I got to move away. But now he's in combat with my guys, and unless he wants to get a free attack on him to try to move after my archer, he can't do much. So I think I'm gonna spacebar over and knock his shield out, so he's easier to hit. And then I'm gonna end his turn, and I'm gonna hit him and see if I can hit him. And see now I can shoot him and he's dead. So a lot of times in the game, what you want to do is you want to try to disadvantage the enemy, take their advantage away. If they have a shield, destroy it, or any sort of advantage they have, you want to take it away, but you want to keep your advantages because you want to win. We're not fighting fire, we're fighting to win. We got some loot. You also have to keep food, which this here says it's worth so much money up there in the top. It spoils in 6 days. So we'll keep that because we need the money. And we took some bandages. You can use them in combat. The aftermath. You're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow shaft. Your chest heaves, pain for breath. Everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men, and that bastard Hoggard did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel that he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Audemars, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader. But all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Boy, I can't pronounce that. Reinhardt joins the 2 of you, still breathing heavily. Then that other guy there. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give 'em in a good burial, and return to town to collect our pay. The weasel's men are slain, after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see to that wound before we lose you, too. Wouldn't want to leave that Reinhardt in charge, right? So be it. So here, we got to go back to this little town, um, Gothmund, I think. Yeah, I'm probably going to butcher a lot of this because, you know, being from Kentucky, I ain't real good with pronunciations and such. But anyway, here's a basic overview. Up here, they added that in recently. You can speed up days. You go, real fast or regular speed. Uh, you know, it's a pretty good little game. Let's go back down here. We're paused. We'll speed up. I enjoy it. The return to Gotham. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrived in Gotham. Four bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company a day ago, Fritz of Gotham, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine, while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged, except for the occasional grunt and wheeze, as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wound. A pin pierces your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. Fritz of Gotham sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hoggart. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod, and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Fritz of Gotham hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it's a shame that Hoggart still lives. Obviously, I expect to get paid for this. Fritz of Gotham gasped. Well, naturally, 400 crowns is agreed upon. He gestures toward a servant, who rushes to your side with the pay in hand. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hoggart, once and for all, and I would pay you again, of course, another 400 crowns, shall we say. Audemars scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but another stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruins, but we will rebuild it. Without the Battle Brothers, we would just drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. And Reinhardt, by the gods, we all know he'd go chasing the women folk until one stove his rotted head in. We need the Battle Brothers. It's all we have. What say you, Captain? So basically what we got here is a choice to skip the tutorial and say, nah, we're just going to do whatever we want to do. But I'm going to go down there, and since that guy killed our guys, and we don't want that, we're going to go get some revenge. So we'll take the quest. Uh, I don't know. I think I may not read all these because it's getting kind of long and it's going to make the video real long. So I'll just leave it up here. And if you want to read it, you can pause the video here. You should have enough time to read this. So what we're going to do is this basically, he wants us to go to another town. We can pick up some more men, pick up some supplies. We did get the $400 from the contract, and we did have a little bit of starting money. So let's go ahead and see where they're sending us to. Over here. And see, sometimes, see this town, it's got a harbor. And see this, it's got a harbor. And since I'm kind of in a hurry, I don't normally do this unless I've got a lot of extra money. Uh, we can just kind of bounce right over there by using the harbor. See, we got to go, dang it, what's the name of that place again? We got to go over to Sea Hoban is what it's called there. So, we can jump right over there for $20. So, we jump right over there. We'll need a few men. And see, each one, see this guy here, he was the unit. And, well, I guess we don't really care because we're only interested in his ability to kill people that we don't like. And each one of them has their own little background. Like this guy has his little background. And this guy here, he was background, was an apprentice, and he has his own little story. But it makes it kind of neat, makes you care about your characters. I'm looking for somebody. See this guy. Ooh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. A yawn snuck right up on me there. Uh, an apprentice learns faster, and this guy's a peddler, and he's not used to hard physical labor or warfare. But uh, I don't really think their ability to haggle prices affects anything. And see, these guys he's used to physical labor, and he's a beggar, so we don't want him. I think we'll just take his fisherman because he's well, I don't know, he's kind of expensive, and I don't want to spend a lot of money. Hmm. All right, well, let's uh, let's take this guy, And let's take the apprentice because he learns fast. He shouldn't have a positive or a negative. Two guys should be enough. And then there's different things here. Like you can go to the tavern and see he tells you something when you come in, and see Gothman is looking to hire mercenaries. That's where we just come from. You can pay some money, and they'll tell you something else. Or you can pay some money and get your mercenary company drunk, which we don't want to be drunk and trying to fight. Uh, Different towns have different services. You can hire people. There's a marketplace, obviously, and a port. And different things that different towns and cities have affects the. Uh, Terribly sorry. Different towns and have different. Shoot. Like this town's got a fishery, right? So they should have fish or food. It looks like they don't. Some will have different, like this little building down here produces this amber, and some will produce alcohol, and some might produce different trade goods. And as you see here, these tools and supplies that you use to repair your equipment. So they're kindly expensive. I think I'll buy tools and supplies, and then you'll need medical to help heal your guys after battle. So I'll buy one of those. And see, our food supplies last 4 days, and this food isn't too terribly expensive. So I think what I might do is buy these fruits and berries. Now we can switch over here and see. These are our original three guys, and as you can see, they've got the little background companion right there. And see, this guy's superstitious, and but he's loyal, so he'll always be here. Even if you're out of money or food, he'll stay with you. Now, he's a little dissatisfied because we lost most of the company, but we got a positive because we won a battle. And this guy is sure-footed, so he gets more melee defense. And see, each one of them has like a little backstory with them. See, this guy gets more resolve, but he gets less defense, most melee and range. And he's also gluttonous because he eats a lot of stuff. So he's not loyal, and even though he was with us from the beginning, if you run out of food, he might just up and leave us. So let's put these guys out here like that. Now, he starts with some okay armor, uh, but they don't have any helmet, and they also don't have any weapons. So you don't want to be just running into battle without any weapons, because that's kind of silly and a good way to die. Uh, we'll buy some arrows and bolts. So right now we can't afford a whole lot. We only got $1,600, and you have to pay your guys. So you don't want to just spend all your money. Shields are important. So I think what I'm going to do is buy this shield. It's a little cheaper because its condition is a little less, but we can fix it. I guess I need to go to bed because it's really late. I think it's like 1 o'clock last time I looked. But I don't know. I'm just having fun. Been recording videos. So these shields are worth a little less because they're damaged. So we got them at a little better price. We can go ahead and fix them. Now our guys need a weapon. So like I was saying, different weapons have different uh, things that they can do. Like an axe can split a shield, or a spear can make a spear wall, or a mace can knock somebody in the head, and stun them for a few turns. And then armor protects against different things. So different armor. See, like this is 80 points armor, and this one's 50. And it's kind of a balancing act to make sure you have you can play your characters to an advantage. And see, different weapons like this is 75% effective against armor, but this is 110% effective. But this spear is 90% effective, and so much of the damage will ignore armor, and so much of each weapon has its own damage. Like it's 25 to 40, and this is 20 to 35. So early on, enemies don't tend to have a lot of armor, but later on, when they do, especially orcs and goblins, it's important to have weapons that can be armor piercing. So we got $1,100 left, and this armor looks okay, and it's going to cost us roughly $250 to buy it. So let's make sure that our guys have some decent armor. Like this guy here, he only has 20. And because I'm selfish and I want my original guys to live a long, long time, I want to give them the best armor and then give our new guys the next armor. So he has 20, and that's 55. So we give him this one. And this guy is 30, so we'll give him this one at 50. And I might look and see if we can afford to give them some helmets, or at least a cap or something to put on their head. And so you can take a bandage and put it in inventory. So if they get hurt on the battlefield in a fight, you can use the bandage to like do a makeshift patch. So let's go over and see real quick here, so I don't draw it out too much more. Uh, we'll just buy a couple hats, or well, I guess it's a hat. We'll buy something to put on their head so they're not completely defenseless. And again, I want my guys to come first. So that's 40, and that's 50. And say he's got an okay helmet, and he doesn't have one. Uh, so we'll give him this, and then give this here bandana, and then this guy can get this hood here, and we'll organize that. And that should be, if we walk away, uh, you can pause this and read at this point if you'd like. I'll give you a second to read it. I've already read it before, so I'll walk out and walk around. It says I need to recruit 3 more men. I only got 2, and I've already spent quite a bit of money, so I need somebody that's cheap. I should have read this before I done it, but I don't want somebody that's like real useless. Like this guy, he's got I don't know, he's a beggar, and I usually don't have much luck with them when I play. They seem to die. Fishermen come with a net, but I'm not really interested in anybody having a net. So this guy needs armor and weapons. So let's see if we can afford something cheap. Here's a shield, and well, I guess he's just gonna have to keep what he's got. We'll buy him an axe. So let's go ahead and find out where he's hiding at, and we'll see what we can do about it. We can go get our revenge. And we'll pause the game. So he's not too far. He's right up here. And I'll go ahead and pause and let you see. There's different biomes. Too much Kerbal Space Program, I guess. There's different terrain types. Mountains, and then like a green land area, or like a more farmland area. And see right here, you can see this place has wheat fields. So they're likely to have products that can come from wheat. And this place over here is got barracks and some other things, an arrow maker shed, which means they're more likely to have higher quality arrows, or not arrows, but higher quality ranged weapons. And then, there's forest, so you can fight in forest, or you might fight in the mountain, or maybe in like the steppe. And then over here is like more like a country, green countryside. And then up here is what? That place is way out there, ain't it? And then this you had to uncover it because we don't know what's there, so you gotta walk through and uncover the fog. And it's kind of neat because if you walk up on top of a mountain, then your view range increases and you can see a lot more, which makes sense because if you're up high on a mountain, you can survey the land. But you got different places that you can go and different factions. See, the arrow like banner is one faction, and then this stag or maybe deer like is another, and then this um, is that stars? I guess that would be starlight banner here is another one. And you can go up here and see, and it shows you uh, right here different houses. See this one and a description, and this one and a description. Each one has a description, and then this one tells us because we've been there. It tells us the name of the village. Basically it's just a small village. They're open to us because we killed Hoggart's men, and then the different people that you can get contracts from. And then here are the different people of this house, and here's the different people of this house. So it's kind of in depth. And if somebody dies, um, you know what their name was, how long they were with us, where they died at, how many people did they kill. It's just a neat little add-on. But without going on into more here, let's go up here and we'll finish this little contract and probably cut it short there. I just wanted to give you a look at the video, and I may or may not play some more. I think it's a neat game, and I think everybody should at least take a look at it and try it out. You know, I mean, Steam's got the 2 hour refund thing, and this is a game that you ought to know within like the first maybe half hour to an hour whether or not you like it, because I like it. If you like Mountain Blade or turn-based games, you'll probably like this too. So let's go ahead and you can see what a non-staged battle is like. And you can see there's different terrain. This is higher, And higher terrain is better to a point where maybe if it's too high and you can't reach. So like these spaces here are underneath these spaces up here. So you would be at a disadvantage because you would be fighting uphill. Or if I was on the top, I would have the advantage. So like I said, you want to minimize the enemy's advantages and maximize yours. And see, different places like this requires 2 AP. But if you wanted to come up here, it would be more action points to move. So let's move this guy forward just a little. And then see, he has a shield, so he can do a shield wall. Or he can knock somebody back. And because he has an axe, he can also split shields. So we'll give him a shield wall, so it's extra defense. And we'll move this guy up. And see, if you shield wall, uh, an additional 5 defense against all attacks for each adjacent ally using shield wall. So it grants 15 melee and ranged by itself, and then because he's a shield wall and he's shield wall, that would be 20. So they're extra 20 defense from ranged and melee. And these guys look like they have flails. You can tell what they have. See, he's got an archer arrow, or dang it, he's a bowman. He's got an archer, and these two guys, I don't think they have shields, but they have a flail. And a flail is dangerous because he can reach around your shield and knock you right in the head. And then up there's Hoggart, and he's got some really nice armor and a shield and what looks like some sort of sword, but he has no helmet, so he's vulnerable to getting hit in the head and dying in a hurry. Like, I want to keep this guy back, but I don't want to keep him so far back that he's not effective. Uh, I don't know. I feel like maybe right here is okay. And see if your archers are in a position of height over over your line, they can shoot kind of over and they get more accuracy bonuses. So he's done. His turn's done. And down here at the bottom, if you haven't noticed, is just the order of turns. Your guys are facing towards the right side of the screen, and the enemy guys are facing towards the left side of the screen. Of course, you can hover over them and see that guy's going to go next, and then my guy, and then another one of my guys, and then as so on and so forth until everybody's had a turn. So it looks like this is going to be our battle line up here. And we'll just go ahead and shield wall him. Now, using shield wall does have a downside because it causes your fatigue to go up. So these guys actually do have shields. He's got a full round shield, and he's got a little tiny buckler. So, can we hit him? Let's just try. We didn't hit him. A bow can shoot 2 times, but a crossbow can only shoot once because it takes time to reload it. But a crossbow is much better against armor than a bow is. So he gets to go first again. Let's try again. And nothing. I was trying to take him out. I maybe should have scooted forward. I don't want to put him in the line first. So let's skip. And this guy, we don't care if he dies. I don't want him to die, but if he does, then it's not a big deal. So we can split his shield, and I think that's what I'll do. And see how that little thing come over? He's starting to waver because now he's fighting 2 enemies by himself. So that affects your morale. I think I'm gonna move him up here because I really don't want to be down and lose the high ground because it's bad. It's a big penalty. So he's done. And I think we'll move him up here to support each other. We got lucky there. Nobody's got hit so far, so that's good. I think what I want, he only has a reach of 1, so I really kind of need to put him in range, but it's bad terrain on either side, and I don't think I can make it that far because of the way the zone of control works. See, each guy exhibits a zone of control around himself. I really need him up there where Hoggart is because that's where he's going to be needed the most because Hoggart has a good armor and shield. And sometimes the AI is kind of silly. Like, he should have been doing something with that archer and maybe trying to, like, hurt my guys. Instead, he just kind of wasted him. And, well, we missed, so it happens, I guess. And, see, we can use a shield to knock these guys back, but I think I'm just going to try to kill him. And looks like we hit him in the head. And So he's wavering, and we pierced his side. And I think I want to come around this way with him and attack him from up here. Yeah, the more sides you can attack an enemy from, the more likely you are to hit that enemy. And see, now he's dead. And I definitely want to pin this archer down so he doesn't run away from us. Oh, we got lucky there because he missed. Now see, some swords can put up like a counter attack stance. So if you attack and you miss, or even sometimes if you hit, you can be counter attacked. So I think I'm gonna get rid of his shield. So now he's easier to hit. So I'm gonna reload, and he's not gonna be a problem anymore. I don't think. Yeah, that's the end of him. Let's take this guy over this way. And I really feel like Hoggart is the bigger threat, and plus this guy's wavering, and he's already hurt pretty bad. So I might try to just finish him off, but that didn't work out so well. So let's put him up here. And see, now that's really going to affect this guy because he's starting to get surrounded, so he's not going to be happy. So far, nobody has got, well, I said that, then I got hurt. I need to do something about Hoggart and real soon, or else I got a guy up here and I die. And just because they fall doesn't mean they're dead. Sometimes they just receive like a permanent injury, which pretty much makes them useless. Ah, we got lucky there, but we can't hit him. Let's spacebar past his turn and see if this guy can get up here and do some good. Okay. And see, now Hoggart is surrounded, so he's breaking. I think he's done. He's gonna try to run away, but he can't. Well, he's dead now. So this is what you see. You get XP. See, he got 1 kill, so he got more experience points, and he did more damage than this guy who did less damage and got no kills. Um, he took 53 damage. It shows like a big breakdown. So your guys get experience and then level up. It's just a neat little game. I highly recommend it. It's a fun game. You should try it out. So you can go ahead and read that. I'll pause here for a second. And I think that's gonna. I may play some more since it's now full release. I don't know if I'll do a lot of recording on it. It's a fun game. I enjoy playing it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you liked the video, tell me that you liked it. If you want to see more, tell me. If you didn't like the video, well, let me know anyway. Um, if you'd like to see more videos in the future, just go ahead and subscribe, and we'll keep you notified whenever I do post videos, which has been just about every day so far this week. Sometimes more than I think on Tuesday I did too. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.